Okay, well, it's a good morning. As you can see, the dawn just beginning to come up. Chapter 10 is rip roaring. Chapter 10 is just like completely insane. And I hope you don't mind that the erotic stuff is treated in a subversive, sarcastic, satirical method, which does not look like itself. Understand? We Lorian masturbating while she's getting programmed with trauma. That sounds like, wow, that could be triggering to some people. Believe me, it's not. It's not triggering at all. It's basically, it's like you're a scientist looking in on a collectively agreed upon experiment. As and even though Lorian becomes Sophia, that he ends up calling her Lorian again. And so there's this tremendous and that should have told audiences everything. It really doesn't work on her. Why is that? The ergo sum, who is she? And that is really the question. Heinrich is so obsessed with himself, and Misha is so obsessed with her being hurt by Heinrich, and Charlotte's so obsessed with the occult that they can't seem to see the real truth here. And even Maddox, doesn't really understand what's going on. And as soon as the aquavelva, or quantamine, the drug, which does not come from human sources, was introduced, all hell has broken loose. So here we are. And we're about, cresting the halfway point. We're starting to really kick it up into a higher notch. And it's, like I say, a riveting chapter. I was really pretty amazed with all the things that go on in this. And, there's a way of writing about it, like I say, without, we're not creating, a 70s, like Judith Krantz novel of eroticism that is safe to read on the cruise that you're on, because you're just a dumb fuck airhead, you know what I mean? So you read that shit. So right, it's like legal pornography. I'm reading this, and it's a really serious novel, or Joan Collins, or whatever. Anyway, yeah, this I just thought of it, flashed about the 70s are in my mind, the 60s, because this is where MK Ultra really began. And this is, the West Coast was a big, LSD dumping ground. Timothy Leary being the Pied Piper of acid, and the Beatles. And again, everything they did, it's amazing looking at senile Paul McCartney, how he can't see that his contribution to culture led to the shit show we're in today. He can't see that. He can't like connect the Legos. Yeah, I'm Paul McCartney. I'm a genius. I'm going to connect the Legos now. And I understand he has to remain compartmentalized, because if he didn't, he'd have to put a bullet in his head. Oh yeah, we're serious. This is serious issues. These are serious times, and there's a lot more serious writing that needs to go on. It's funny. I found a screenplay that I wrote, I don't know when, maybe late 90s something. And it was a comedy about a woman going from a beauty parlor and breaking into a Wall Street and becoming a boss. And all the prejudice that she was Polish and not Ivy League, and you know what I mean? And I'm like, I didn't write that. I don't have any recollection of ever writing that. And then I went and realized, oh yeah, then there was real multiple. I must have written it in another personality, because I have no recollection. And yet I'm reading it, it's comedy. I'm like, since when was I like a studio type comedy writer? This is weird, and it's pretty good, actually, the comedy, and witty and all that, and different than horror. But anyway, let's get back to horror, shall we? You can see we're on. It's very, 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 very watchable now, and that we're all obsessed with Lorian, because wonder how she's going to fight back. And yet she's managing to fight back in her love for Heinrich. So she falls in love with Heinrich. You know what I mean? Which drives Misha completely nuts. And Misha has, you know, Misha had participated in cutting her toe off. And then Misha, you know, has designs to kill her, actually. You know, and then she's being put up to killing Heinrich and Misha. And so that, you know, by Charlotte, who's the sister of Heinrich. And so it's a very, very twisted little group we have here. And then all of it commissioned and watched over by, say, Maddox, that represents the powers that be, watching the experiment. It's not about abducting and creating a Sophia. It's about them. And as soon as you realize that, which takes maybe a couple of views of the film, maybe more, you start to really understand the story and how it unravels. Because some of it has to be shorthand, because otherwise we would have a series of, you know, 20 episodes. So we can't really do that. So we have to rely on your intelligence to you know, get some game, you know, and get in the game, get some skin in the game, you know, not mindless entertainment. But at the same time, it is mindless entertainment. I mean, it's you know, it's sex, drugs, craziness, music, programming, culture, and the idea that we're going to get this Sophia out there, and we're going to get 300 grand for her. We're going to get 300K, and we need more money, Heinrich is saying, and you'll be getting into those chapters pretty soon. Anyway, you know, yeah, it's the kind of thing that like I say, when I put the film on, I'm just, even though I made the film, you know, I mean, I did my part in the writing, and Larry directed and other people acted and all that. I learned something different every time, you know, and it deepens my understanding of the world situation is in terms of the riots and what's called mass consciousness, you know, mass psychosis, or what I call mass trauma-based psychosis, which, you know, in which you can get the public or your you know, your victims, your half-wit dupes, to go riot and do whatever you need them to do. Very easy to control, very easy to have a riot, because they'll do whatever you tell them to do, they'll do, you know. I don't know how they got into Columbia University or Harvard or USC or UCLA. No idea. Because to us, who've been around the block, you know, these are, and I wonder, were we that stupid back in the hippie generation, back in the late 60s? Maybe we were. But I mean, it's gone to it's gone to this level of you know, retardation. I don't even know what you'd call it, to where you know, to where, you know, just mechanically dumb. You know, it's like speaking to you know, a machine or a rock or a broom and having it do something for you. You know what I mean? It's almost on that level watching it, and it's, I mean, people, you know, it's very sad because it's all a distraction. Everything in America and everything America has been your entire life has been evil. Okay, it's not make America great again. There is no great to go back to. World War II, Great Depression caused by other people. World War II caused by other people, caused by the powers that should not be. Korean Missile Crisis. I mean, Cuban Missile Crisis caused by others. CIA baby Bay of Pigs, Vietnam, the rich oligarchs running the drug trade, establishing dominance, and then of course the human trafficking of today, and the cartels and everything, who are completely in bed with the U.S. government and tell the U.S. government actually what to do because they have more money. Okay, I mean, you think these cartels run around in old trucks and machine guns? They fly around in private jets. They're the clients. They're the Sophias go to them. People like congressmen or senators are shit compared to them. They're royalty. They come in on their Gulfstream whatever plane, and you know, or their 747 jet or whatever it is they've got, and they, you know, basically tell the banks what to do, tell the politicians what to do, and basically they're the boss. So of course they're going to bring fentanyl in and kill people and do the great replacement. The Great Replacement, which is what we're going through now, which if the half-wit dupes who do the rioting and the protesting and it's not right and blah, 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 if they were semi-savvy, they could launch a resistance against the real problem. And that's the globalist, wealthy globalists, the people that want to collapse the civilizations into one. And all you have to do is read their white papers and read their books. That's all you got to do. And then when you see that you're under attack from them, then you turn from your professor who's controlling you, mind controlling you, and you turn to, we got to fight them off in order to survive. And then, but they've gotten away with it for so long. Anyway, enjoy chapter 10, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.